I think what happened was when I was being interrogated, people would always ask, what's your nationality? Of course, I would say Indonesian. Mm. And then people say, well, why is that? How did it happen? So I said, well, I was Indonesian because I was married to an Indonesian. And then somebody got involved in this and discovered that actually this was not correct. And I think there was a lawyer that got involved, and in the meanwhile the kids were, Tari and Anto, had been moved to London.
Right.
Yes, with the help of the World Council of Churches. Ah. And so then they got involved with Amnesty. Tari was by this time, I don't know, in her late teens. Yeah. She got involved, she was in contact with Amnesty, and there was a woman in Amnesty called, at that time, Sarah Lee. Yes. Oh. And Sarah Lee was a specialist in immigration, so she knew the whole problem about citizenship and nationality and so on. And so she started looking into the background of my nationality, and she found that actually my position as an Indonesian national or citizen was flawed, and she then brought this up with the British government, that in fact I should be reinstated as a British subject because my Indonesian nationality was flawed. What the judge had said about my position was not right. So this was a process that was, she had quite a big dispute with the, I don't know, the Home Office, I think it was. She would remember this. Anyhow, she had a big dispute with the Home Office, and eventually they accepted her argument that the basis for my Indonesian nationality was flawed and they would have to restore me as a British subject. So being a British subject put my legal position in somewhat different situation, and that was basically why I was released, because the British Embassy started getting involved in my case. I think reluctantly, but anyhow, they had, formally speaking, they had to do that. So they started getting involved in my case. And then when I was actually released from prison, I was taken to the British Embassy, given I think it was a passport, and then taken straight to the airport. Yes, so I had my citizenship status had changed, and it was because of this restoration of my British nationality. So that's what actually got me out of prison. So I always say that Sarah, because she worked so hard on this, she was the one who really, to whom I'm indebted. I think I say this in the book, don't I?
Yes, you do. Yes,
yes, I think there's some